I have a story this morning from a good friend of mine. Her name is Becky Brooks. She is a religious educator and just general wonderful person. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a teeny tiny, itty bitty, very, 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 very small God named Tiny. Now, Tiny knew all the stories of the big gods who did amazing things, who had temples and shrines dedicated to their honor. And Tiny wanted that. Tiny wanted to be a big god with a temple and a shrine. Tiny needed to do something amazing, something legendary, so that people would know her and remember her. So Tiny thought about it, and she came up with the best idea ever. Do you want to hear it? Yeah. Okay. It goes like this. Ready? You are not alone. You are not alone. Oh, you're already repeating it. I love it. You are not alone. That was Tiny's amazing idea. Tiny, because she was so small, could travel on the breeze and whisper into people's ears, you are not alone. You are not alone. And Tiny knew that it would give people great comfort to hear this. And it did. Tiny could tell. People's shoulders relaxed. They had a little smile on their face when they would hear Tiny whisper, you are not alone. And it was going so well until one day, Tiny whispered, you are not alone, into the ears of a woman named Miriam. But Miriam's shoulders did not relax. Miriam tensed up. Miriam did not smile. She got a look of aggravation on her face. What was going on? Tiny had no idea. This had never, ever happened before. So Tiny decided she would watch Miriam and see what was happening. All night, Miriam tossed and turned. She couldn't sleep. She just kept thinking, you are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. It was bothering her. The next morning, Miriam had her breakfast. She was scrolling on her phone, as she always did, looking at the headlines. And normally, she would just read the headlines, maybe click on an article that interested her. But this morning, Miriam read every article. She read about wars and famines and disasters. She read about people all over the world, and she thought to herself, I am not alone. I am connected to all of these people. They love their children like I love my children. They are sad sometimes like I am sad sometimes. They hurt like I hurt. I am not alone. I am connected. I am not alone. I can help. Tiny thought this was very unique indeed. She kept watching Miriam. Later that day, Miriam went to work. She was chatting with some coworkers about a law that was being passed by the Congress that Miriam thought was just unjust. She and her coworker talked about it, and then Miriam went back to her desk and wrote a note to her senator. Later, Miriam went to the grocery store, picked out groceries for her family, and threw in a couple jars of peanut butter and a box of diapers to drop off at the food bank. Later that evening, Miriam was scrolling Facebook. She saw that a friend was raising money for a cause that the friend felt strongly about. Miriam thought, I could get on board with that, and sent a contribution. And finally, right before bedtime, just as Miriam was winding down, getting ready to get into bed, she got a phone call from someone she hadn't heard from in a long time. And this person said, Miriam, I'm having a really hard time. Miriam said, tell me all about it. You are not alone. I am here. You are not alone. I am here. Tiny heard something new in the words that Miriam was saying and realized that Miriam had figured something out. You are not alone, I am here. Tiny the God was nothing without Miriam's hands and heart and spirit in the world, caring for people. Tiny doubled down on her work to spread the gospel of you are not alone, I am here. You are not alone, I am here. Tiny worked from sunup to sundown and through the night, whispering, you are not alone, I am here. She did it so much that eventually Tiny just became the breeze itself. That's why there's no statues of Tiny the God, no holy books about her, just a breeze. And sometimes, if you listen very, very carefully, you can hear it. You are not alone. I am here. You are not alone. I am here. You can hear it where water bottles are left in the desert for people trying to cross. You are not alone. I am here. You can hear it in the war-torn places of our world. You are not alone. I am here. Here in the sanctuary and on Zoom, you are not alone. I am here. May it be so. Thank you for listening to my story this morning.